Welcome to Genizus podcast, where we dive into the dynamic world of generational conversation with your host, John, the baby boomer, along with Jessica, the millennial, and Joey, the Gen Z.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the Genizus podcast. I'm Jessica, and I'm the millennial.
I'm John, and I'm a boomer.
Yeah, you are. And we are recording this, unfortunately, with no Joey, because he's
off traveling the world.
He's off doing his band stuff and whatnot. So we're missing a Gen Zer, but we have our lovely producer, Julia, here.
Yep.
Again, so we thought today we could go through a question on Reddit.
Right.
And it discusses, like, family issues.
We need a little background music for this. Don't you have a little,
Oh, God,
little music that we can intro this?
Don't need any background info music.
Yeah.
No.
You
Okay.
got weird stuff. You got like.
There you
Oh, God, no.
That is the question of the day.
This isn't like a radio show. Or it's like,
You know what? I was many years ago. I worked for WCKG. I was not on the radio. I was, believe it or not, in sales. It's when Steve Dahl worked there, and I believe it was Howard Stern was being syndicated, and I worked at the Prudential Building in Chicago. But that one was okay. I worked at Maverick Media, WNTA, and I don't think Maverick Media is around anymore. It was in Rockford, Illinois, and I produced a morning show. And that one was fun because I was able to interact with the host. And it was usually a political show in the morning. It was like a news political show. I remember Thompson was still around, and or one of the governors, and they had him on, and I was able to chime in once in a blue moon.
They play funky music.
Is your mic on, or are you just really...
It's on.
Oh, it is? Because you sound very far away.
Oh, because I'm not seeing my face right
There you go. You sound better there.
Yeah.
Maybe bring that microphone in a little bit more.
now. No, I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, so...
yeah, so this isn't radio, though.
It's not
This
radio.
is a podcast.
It's a
We don't need to have, reaction
Horror
music.
music in the background.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I like reaction music.
It's a boomer thing.
Dun, 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 dun.
That is a boomer thing.
And today on Gen is Us.
No,
We don't have- we
The
don't have,
Reddit.
we
The
don't have
Reddit
music.
segment.
no,
It's the Reddit. What is it? Reddit?
Yeah, Reddit thread. So basically, for those of you old people who don't know what Reddit is, Dad, it's basically a forum where you can post pretty much anything you want, and they have different subgenres and topics, and so you can, comment, or you can add in and start your own thread. So it's like anything and everything under the sun. It's just a huge platform.
Cool.
So I'm gonna read this posting. The posting is under the family drama Reddit thread, and
Family drama.
yeah, it's the poster. This is very recent post, and it's titled "Rough Family." It's by Vape Slayer 420, which is a very interesting name. So Vape Slayer 420. Here we go. So it says, context. The whole side of my wife's family can never take responsibility for pushing boundaries set. My wife's parents moved in with us recently because they lost their house, so we gave them 4 simple rules, a pretty sweet deal. Rule 1, all your stuff is downstairs in the granny flat, and buy your own food. That's fair. Rule 2, at least one of you has to work, but you don't have to pay bills.
Ooh.
Rule 3, no hitting the kids, and try not to yell at them.
I beat the crap out of them every day. Yeah.
Put that boundary.
Right?
That's
Do they have
alarming.
a violent streak? Is that what it is?
We'll find out, I guess. Rule 4, your friends are okay, but no Joe or Sally.
Because you're drunks.
Oh my God.
And they bring in that thing.
Oh, maybe.
Wow.
So then they go, pretty sweet deal, right? After week 2, my wife's mom hit our child right in front of me because she misheard what I said.
Do we have the punch sound effect?
Holy shit.
No, we don't.
Oh my God.
I like that.
Downer.
That is ridiculous.
Boom, boom. Oh, I think we have that one too.
No, that's the Debbie Downer one.
No.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
No, but that would
That's
be bad.
applause. Yeah, that's after they hit the kid.
No.
Nice.
No.
Mommy
no,
hit the
this
kid
is
again.
The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
The
after
snack was right.
after week 2, my wife's mom hit our child right in front of me because she misheard what I said. I lectured her. Okay, that's right then that they're out. That's not okay. Week 4, they let Sally into our house to pick up money, quote unquote, but they had beers for an hour. For context, Rob and Sally aren't allowed here due to doing hard drugs and stealing. Mm-hmm. Sally 2 years ago stole from my 9-year-old son and then lied to my face when I addressed it, refusing to give what they stole back. This was enough for me to ban her from seeing her kids. Well, yeah, no shit. Sally is my grandma and Sally is my grandma-in-law, you could say. Interesting. Is it wrong of me that I lectured them saying no, she can't come here after the fact? A huge fight happened with my wife's mom and husband saying we don't like being treated like children. The husband, they were just picking up money. Not true. She's my sister, dude. Me saying if you don't like the simple rules, you don't have to live here. You can move out if you want. Grandma, but those are my babies too. Deflection onto the kids, quote unquote. Me to the husband, if you want to see her, you can always go to her place. I respect the husband a bit more because he did apologize after. But the grandma said, fuck you to those are my kids too. Am I the asshole here for setting clear boundaries to protect my children from certain adults?
Not those adults.
I agree. That's fucked up.
I think in the whole spanking thing, yeah, I think if I allow it once, and if it happens again, then
No, I disagree. You set the clear boundaries and expectations, and you're giving them a favor.
I'd like to know how old his parents are.
Yeah.
Why are the parents living with them? I mean, that's
They said they lost their house.
yeah, I know, but come on, there's probably other ways they
I
can
got a
live
feeling
somewhere
his
else.
parents have habits.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they have habits and they hang around with people with habits.
Yeah.
So that's a hard call. Because
I don't-
he gave him a stipulation, one has to work. That leads you to believe that they're
They can't hold
working age.
jobs. Yeah.
No, well, I don't know that they can't hold jobs, but I don't think that they're. Yeah, I don't think
Trying to
that's the
keep them
case.
productive.
Yeah, maybe they're home all the time, or they don't want to be. They don't want them home all the time with the kids.
Yeah, I wonder too, like, why are you having a boundary of one has to work, but then they don't have to pay bills? To me,
Right.
that's like,
That's weird.
yeah,
How
like,
come they don't have to pay bills?
Well, they have to buy their own groceries.
Well, that's. I mean, if you want to eat something that they don't like, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is something that there's a lot of information missing.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I
so.
think the main thing is that they set these clear expectation and boundaries for them to be living with them with no bills, they said. And they, after 1 month of staying there, broke 2 of the rules. I'm sorry, you're out. You can't stay here. You can't follow our simple boundaries. I don't think it's that complicated, really.
I'd like to hear from the wife.
Well,
Those are her parents.
that's another, yeah, I wonder.
You know, it's like, what is her perspective? And that's where I go back to how old are they? Can they get housing somewhere else?
Right.
You know, whether it's government housing or something like that. You know, you don't want to send them to a motel, hotel.
Well, the other thought too is, like with our last episode, like advocating. So, like, is the mom, what,
Right.
saw in the thread that the parents are in their 40s.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
that's pretty young.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
so
young.
Definitely, yeah, they have no excuse for hitting the kids and for disobeying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't know what the kids did. Maybe they
No, it
knocked
doesn't
over a
matter.
liquor store or something like that, or you know.
Okay, no. I mean, I picture them being probably younger than 12 because he mentioned something about when they were 9.
No.
Right.
And if they're in their 40s, that they definitely have some type of abuse situation going on.
Yeah.
Substance abuse or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
At that point, I'd say, yeah.
I mean, if the
we need
parents,
to find another place to live.
yeah, the parents
Uh-huh.
are 40, so that means that the
Parents are in their like 20s, maybe?
right, Yeah, 20. So I mean, that's a very young household
Yeah.
if you think about it. I mean, it's not like it's a 60,
That's what I mean.
70-year-old.
They should be enough to go and get jobs. I'd give them like 30
Yeah.
60 days, get jobs, and you gotta find your own place.
Well, no, I think they said they have to get jobs.
One of them has to be
One has to-
working.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other one needs to work too in order for them to afford a place to live.
Right.
Or get an apartment somewhere, a studio, a 1-bedroom, whatever. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would say give them a timeline. Like, this isn't working out because you can't keep within the boundaries I set. And so you have 30 days to figure it out.
Yep.
I'm giving you 30
Right.
days. Stay downstairs. Can't have anybody come over. And if you do break the rules again, then that's immediate eviction.
You know, I was thinking, okay, well, okay, they're setting the rules, and you know, mom and dad are living with us. They're 40, so that's got to be hard for them to think, okay, I can't have any friends over, because you know, when I was 40, I was thinking, okay, I got to have, you know, I was going to have friends over and you know, watch football and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
They can't even do that. So I mean, that's pretty strict rules.
Well, they're not saying any friends. They're just saying the two friends that have stole from them.
Maybe that's their only friends.
That's not their fault. Then go get your own place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So again, going back to why
You said
are they
there was
even there?
girls involved, so obviously there's some.
Mhm.
part
Yeah,
of
why
it.
are they even there though? I mean, yes, I mean, that's got to be hard to live with. You know what? Think about it though. If they're setting these guidelines and rules or whatever, that means that maybe they didn't really want them there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I mean, if the parents are hitting the kids, I don't think I'd want anybody that's living with me hitting my kid.
Yeah, no.
You know what I
That's
mean?
not a good
I'd be like,
situation.
get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Even if you're a grandparent, yeah.
No. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
If you're a grandparent, you're
You
not.
yell at them, that's different, but
Yeah.
you don't touch the kid.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I slapped Stormy around a couple times.
Oh my
you know,
God.
It's my dog.
It's a dog. It is a dog.
But yeah,
They like toddlers together.
I do one of those Hulk things. Take the toddler and just
Oh my
boom,
God.
boom.
You break your arm. It's a potato.
Stormy is a pug, and he plays with her and fights with her all the time.
Mm-mm.
She's a cute little
And she
dog.
loves it. She keeps
She's
going
a
back for more.
She bit me hard yesterday though. She drew blood.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was playing with her, messing with her, and she came at me and was able to grab my finger and chomp down on it, and she drew blood.
Jeez.
Right, and she doesn't have any teeth because all her teeth are like lying behind, you know, like in the back.
Mm-mm.
You should
So-
see what he does to her.
Oh yeah. I grab her by the bunghole.
Yeah. So was
What
there
the
twist.
hell?
I
was
give
there
her
any
butt
other
twist.
what were the other comments on the Reddit?
He's still talking about
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
dog's butthole.
Yeah.
The other one I saw was you have to be careful of your kids and wife's health. Like, that's not okay. The other one was get them out or something. And then the poster commented, the original poster, and that's where he said they're in their 40s. So, I mean, they could be late 40s.
Right,
Yeah.
but either way,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
either way, it's a young.
Unless they're disabled, they should be able to.
And then he said that his wife and him are on the same page about that they're going to give them a certain amount of time, and then that they have to find somewhere else to live.
Okay, so where do they live? Does it give
It
it?
doesn't give no.
Because I'm thinking it's one of those.
Yeah, I
You
can't help
know,
but picture that.
Hey, my paw.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm thinking it's probably something like that, you know.
It all it's always about parenting your parents. Like, the fact that they have to set these boundaries for
set boundaries and take care of them.
yeah, mm-hmm. Set parameters. Yeah. So I think.
No, it sounded better when you were closer. I didn't hear that static when you were closer to the mic. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
Anyway.
Mary Joseph.
But I forgot my train of thought.
I think we were all on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the parents need to move out.
Yeah, if they're,
Older
if they're
parents.
not elderly, I mean super elderly.
Right,
then-
right. It's different if you're like
Yeah,
you
they
said,
need-
disabled or sick or whatever. Then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, we'll help you out and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
if they're setting parameters from the get go,
there's
like
something going on.
there's
Yeah.
something going on. Yeah, they need to get the hell out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They need their own place.
Yeah, they need their own place.
This is a temporary, we'll help you out.
But what parent beats the kid?
I know, that's weird.
What grandparent beats the kid or hits the kid? Yeah, it makes no sense.
I mean, I can expect
The fact that you have to say, you can stay here but don't hit my child is like
yeah.
alarm bells. That's
Right.
like red flag city.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
And she misunderstood, so she heard, hit my child.
Yeah.
What?
Hey, you know what? I'm not home, so go ahead and beat my kid as long as I'm not seeing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, she did it right in front of him. That was the one.
Right. That's the odd thing.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Right.
Okay, so we have another posting under the family drama Reddit thread, and this poster is they're called Empty Bottle Cap. That's a cool name, Empty Bottle Cap.
Yeah. A good name for a band.
Yeah, it is. That's a good one.
You know what? If you have any thing that you want to send us, the Gens, send it through our website. Gen is us. That's with a Z.com, and we'll put it on the podcast and answer your questions.
Yeah.
We'll have like a special segment, an episode, and we'll just do that.
You can do it anonymous too.
You can do it anonymous, or just put your first and last name.
And address.
An address.
Phone number and
Phone
social
number.
security Okay, so this is titled Immediately No, which I love. Okay, so the post is, not sure if this is the right place, but help! I can't enjoy my social media, Facebook, IG, without seeing something that upsets me. Example, drama about my grandpa who passed, and who gets what? Immediately no. How do I take back my power? I used to not care, but for some reason I do now. I notice I feel stressed out by thinking, what would my family think, say? I shouldn't care. It stresses me out to the point where I get sick. I keep social media for my friends, but when it comes to family, I'm super stressed. Any ideas? Help. Does this happen to anyone? Well, Empty Bottle Cap, I have a direct situation I've gone through, and I experienced that.
This would be a good one for Joey, because he's not a social media fan at all, and he would probably be using the F word every 5 seconds just to describe his feelings about it.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Well, I mean, I experienced the stress of seeing just the names of my family members who, stressed me out and traumatized me, and I had to make the decision for myself that I wasn't gonna follow them anymore. I mean, you have to sometimes do what's best for you, and reality is that there's some people in your life who don't actually they don't give you a feeling of happiness, and so I think if it comes to the point where you're stressed out, even just seeing what they post or their names come up, then you have to be able to say, okay, I don't want to see it anymore. And so you can hide it from your feed, but if you don't want them seeing, yeah, you can unfriend them, you can block them. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And
now you're talking about like family and friends, or just one sector alone?
Family.
Family, okay.
But friends are the same too. I mean,
yeah,
if there's a friend that you're well, first of all, why do you call them friends? If you
right.
Well, there's some friends that are dependent.
Right.
But if they're a friend that stresses you out, then why are you friends with them?
Maybe you feel bad for them, and you want to.
That's not a
help
friendship,
them out.
though. That's not a friendship.
Well,
friendship is a back and forth relationship.
I had a friend, Greg, that was he was a good guy, but he just had so many. He's still a friend, but he's still got issues. He's got all sorts of weird issues, and he's not very dependable and that kind of thing. So I kind of drew a line, and kind of I call him once in a while, or I ask him for opinion. He's really good at sound engineering, that kind of thing, but he's not very good at being dependable. So I don't use him for a lot of stuff. And even when I used him, he come with issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really hard for me to work with him because these issues were just, you can't work with somebody like that, because, without really going into it, but he was a good guy, but he just, he's got a lot of mental things going on, he's got a lot of physical things going on, and at some point he just And then I got family also, but there's only one that I really don't talk to, or really deal with anymore. But other than that, I've tried to make sure that there's a lot of issues with family. You're always going to have family issues, and deal with certain things and stuff like that. And how much is enough and how much isn't. Is there a balance? And I've been able to do the balancing act with my family, and a lot of that is just trying to get past a lot of stuff, and trying to come to terms with, all right, they did this, they did that, and all this. But if I don't do that, then I pretty much lost the family, lost any type of. My family's small. The rest of my family's in Mexico, so I don't really, the only family I have is you and your family, and then my family, and that's it. Aside from Julia, but other than that, that's it. So I mean, I don't have much family, and if I start to say, okay, I gotta let go of this, then guess what?
You have friends also.
Huh?
You have friends and acquaintances on your Facebook.
They're all dicks.
That you shouldn't have on
They're hot.
See what I deal with? And
No, they're not.
Stop
I'm just
talking
messing
to
with
them, or you'll have them. No, you're not.
Who?
You still have some on there.
Who?
Oh,
I
I'm
don't-
not going into details.
I don't have anybody that I really deal with on a daily
You have
basis.
Sunny on there.
Sunny's from a long time ago, and she's into paranormal
And you
stuff.
found out that she's very prejudiced also.
Yeah, but I don't interact with her on a daily basis. She's more of a distant acquaintance. You know what I mean? I only keep her on because of the paranormal stuff, because I'm into paranormal stuff. So I mean, that's why I keep her
But there's
on.
no purpose for her. Anyway, there's a few other ones too, but we won't get into that. I think, with Facebook, as an example, you have ways of regulating and staying away from those who are toxic to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And that's a personal choice.
Totally.
Right.
When the whole 2020 thing happened, it was a good place to connect with family. But then after that, it became a division in political stance.
Yeah.
I turned off a lot of my nieces and nephews because they did not agree with what I agreed with.
Yeah.
Or I didn't want to see my nephew shooting deer and holding up their carcasses. I blocked them. I mean, it's like, no, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
You hunt, whatever, that's cool. You want to display your to me, I had issues with it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to show that. Or I have some,
We're part of
members
PETA, right?
that are,
People eating tasty animals.
Oh my gosh.
for a long time, I boycotted tuna because it hurt dolphins and it was nuts. But anyway, I even
But you have no problem with a cheeseburger.
no, they're not caught in nets. They're just killed for me. But anyway.
Same thing.
Yeah, but dolphins are the most intelligent
Right.
animal.
And if you ever had a tasty a dolphin,
Non-aggressive animal.
Yeah. So they know that they're getting.
right? They're
getting
food for
scared.
us.
No, not dolphins.
Dolphins,
No.
sharks,
Flipper.
flipper.
No,
Yeah.
not dolphins.
Flipper a la mode.
The tuna is what's trying to be trapped.
Yes.
It's in the dolphins, but anyway. But I mean,
Well, isn't that what an albacore is?
No, that isn't that a fish?
just white tuna.
It's tuna, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tuna, yeah.
Whereas
Tunas
It's
are-
not dolphin.
Tuna's you don't know if a dolphin is more intelligent than a tuna,
Yes,
It
we
is.
do.
huh?
They have their own language. They know these things.
I've
Yes.
never heard a dolphin talk to me. When there's a tuna school or a dolphin school, then I'll believe
Shut his
it.
mic off, Julian.
Mammals.
No, but I even have like some nephew, like a nephew, who is,
A dolphin?
he's gay,
Oh my god.
but he
He's
is
a dolphin.
very explicit
Oh.
on.
He's
on-
what?
He's gay, but he's very explicit with his interactions with boyfriends and things like that. And I no, I don't want to hear about your conquests that night and what you did.
Oh my god.
And I had to turn him off too. Even though I love him,
Yeah.
he's entitled to be who he wants to be.
Right.
But I don't want to see it or hear it.
You don't want to be.
You know,
Yeah, you don't want to be a part of it, and it.
Right.
Yeah. I I totally
and
understand.
this is where I that's where you have the ability. You can cut out and not interact with those that you don't need to be interacting with.
And you don't have to explain yourself or apologize, because that is a decision that you can make. You don't have to.
And you can do it discreetly without hurting anyone's feelings.
Yeah.
You can just unfollow them and put them in a category that they don't get to see all your threads either.
Right.
And you don't want to see theirs. So, I mean, you could do it that way and not have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, to me, if I don't talk to you on a regular basis, I don't need to know what's going on.
Yeah. I've like really dumbed, what's the word? Like dumbed down, not dumbed down, but I haven't been posting a whole lot. I really don't, because I look back on Facebook and like that is a journal of my life since I've had it since 06 or 07. It's a long time. And I look back and I'm like, I'm not embarrassed of what I posted, but I've definitely like hid it from my timeline because it's like dumb shit. I was like 17, and so you just, I realized that you don't need to. I'm not one of those people that need to share everything online. That's just not who I am.
You're opening yourself up to
Exactly.
to misinterpretation.
Yep.
I posted something as simple as for my birthday, John made me a cake, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, oh, you had a party? No, it was just me, John, and my son.
Yeah.
And they thought I had a party.
Yep.
And it's like, no.
Yep.
Well, so-and-so posted something. That was from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That wasn't, current. So there's a lot of, misinterpretation and hurt feelings. And it's like, but then I also see things that it's like, oh, I wasn't invited. So
yeah, you
like,
feel left out.
Exactly.
Totally. Yeah.
So you gotta be careful with it.
Right, but isn't that like a woman thing? Because people,
Yeah.
guys look at stuff and I'm like, I don't give a shit. And I'm like,
some guys.
I wasn't invited to this, or I don't really give a shit.
You're a liar.
No, I don't. I'm not. No, I mean, the only thing that would really bothers me is that, like, if it's no, because even with like my family stuff and all that, whatever people do, that's fine. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be able to miss like certain things, like like your kids' birthdays or that kind of thing. And if for whatever reason I can't make it, it's bad. Like we're going to have problems with birthdays and stuff like that, and other family events and all that. And Julie and me have been talking about it. It's like, it's going to suck because we're not going to be able to make certain things, or because people work or whatever, and there's other people that want me to do stuff and all that. So it's going to be kind of hard. But that's the only thing, But I mean, as far as like not being invited to stuff or whatever, shit happens. That's the way I look at it. But
yeah, shit happens. But I think internally, you do feel a certain way if you see it, even if it's not even people right? So like for social media, like Instagram, you see all these postings, or like TikTok, you see postings of people that like have their life together, and here's how I organize my refrigerator, and this is how I meal prep, and you're like, wow, holy shit, what am I doing with my life? Like, you can't help but to internalize that. And so, if you want to limit that, then you have to limit what you're looking at.
Feeding your
algorithm.
Your mind. See, again, I look at stuff like that, I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, the only thing I like is like maybe like I like watching the videos of like places, or restaurants or stuff like that. As far as like like what other people are doing, I mean, if they showed Faces of Death, I would watch that every day.
That's disgusting. No, that was fake, right?
I know, it's fake, but it's fun. I remember I remember one time when this guy was. I know it's fake, but this guy was blowing up an inner tube, and somebody fell from like really high and dropped right on the inner tube. Head exploded.
Oh my god!
The head exploded. Now that was funny as shit.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Daniel showed me a clip. I think it was last night or the night before, of a 1980s work protection video, and it is so over the top. It's like people like working in like manufacturing, and they like look, and then all their entire hand gets like crushed, and it's, it's so fake.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah,
hilarious.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, don't you think at society now, there are a lot of thin-skinned people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of
I
haters
agree.
that use multimedia as a way to attack people for no reason.
I agree.
And it's like, people, the thing is out there is a tool to communicate. You don't have to be negative all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to be so thin-skinned.
I mean, I completely agree with that. I mean, you put out there, I feel like what you put out there may be what you get back, right? So, like, if you're putting out negative shit and you're posting YouTube videos about microwaves killing you, then you probably are going to get that shit back in tenfold. Like, that, because one, it's smart. The algorithm's smart. So, like, it's going to learn those things. So the more negative videos that you see, the more negative videos you're going to get back at you.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Like, I get, like, those ones about prayer, and if I just say I believe in Jesus, oh my God, I start getting all these religious things at me. I'm like, no, delete, no, stop, and it's just like, it's not that I'm not religious, but I don't need you bombarding me.
Exactly.
Well, it's
chain mails and stuff.
Well, if Facebook and all those Instagram, they become intuitive to what you like.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there watching, I'm like, hey, Chinese girls, that's kind of cool. So we're watching...
But then I recently, like, I watch a lot of HGTV.
Yeah.
And there is one couple, Sarah and her husband, who's a minister. They do an HGTV, something like that. She and him had.
Do they pray the mold away?
Huh?
Do they pray the mold away?
No, they're actually pretty cool. They have their own farm. They live in Arkansas. They have like 4 of their own kids, but they have a daughter who's adopted from Nigeria.
Okay.
And they have like the blueberry field. I mean, it's a farm. It's an actual working farm, but they also do home renovations. So it's pretty cool. And I like her ideas. People are bombarding her with hate things on her thread. They don't like her voice. They don't like her choice of color, the kitchens. Jesus. And it's just like, get a grip, people. Really? Yeah. If you don't like it, then don't watch the show. Right. And they've even attacked her kids.
Yeah, no, that's
or her parenting staff, because they live on a farm. So the little boy will go into the workshop and help his dad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whatever your issues are, you don't need to attack someone because that's their lifestyle.
That's an insecurity on them, though. And hopefully those people realize that.
And I think they're also attacking her about her daughter. And it's just like, you want to reach out to them, like, don't listen to them. You're a good person. I enjoy your show. And your choices. Your choices are based on homeowner and not someone else's perspective from afar.
There's so many HGTV shows now, all couples and different like the brothers that do Property Brothers, and then I think what we're missing is like the Little People HGTV renovation. Now, because you watch the Little People, right?
There was the little couple, and they did do a renovation because they bought a house in Florida. And they had to have it completely remodeled to lower the cost to their house. Seriously. They had to put an elevator in because...
Can you imagine if like one of those marble tops fell on them and they were trapped for like months?
They did. They had to put steps because they adopted children who were also little people. So they had to rearrange everything to accommodate them.
Wow.
So from what I heard, that their show went off the air. They wanted private time. And I think they moved from that Florida house. I'm like, do you go back and have to undo everything you just did?
Oh God!
But
there's a TikToker. It's hilarious. He's I think he's in his 20s. I'm not sure. He's a normal size. Yeah. But his mom's a little person. I don't know. I don't want to be non-PC. I just she's a little person.
I call them midgets, but you go ahead and call them whatever.
She's vertically challenged, but her son, I mean, is biological, and he's normal.
A normal size.
And there's this video compilation that he did of following her around with a trombone.
What?
So he was making sound effects as she was like opening the door, and it was like, or like she would like drop something and have to pick it up and like, oh my God, it was so funny. I just don't know how you would handle that, because if you're living in and her house is like, they have a short refrigerator and like a short countertop, and they've accommodated to her, but he's like 6 foot.
Oh my goodness.
See, you know, here I just thought of a really good idea for a show. You know how they have like the brothers? What is that that show where you have all these families or these people living together and they're eliminated?
Mormons Are Us?
No, not Mormons Are Us.
The Big Brother show?
The Big Brother show.
Oh, Big
And
Brother, yeah.
You would call it the Big Brothers and Sisters show, and you would actually have little people living with big people. You know what I mean? And you'd have like a contest of like who can last the longest. You know what I mean? And then you would have like toilets that are like normal size, and see the little people struggle to get in the toilets.
Oh my God! Why?
And have like normal size refrigerators and stoves, and see how long the little people could last in the house without starving or pooping.
Well, there's one show that I do watch, The Little People, Big World, and she had 4 kids.
Kid?
4?
Yeah, those are the ones that were trampled by the cows, right?
No, she had 2 that were normal size, and her husband were little people. So she had 2 that were regular size, and then 1 that was like them.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not modify their house. They just used step stools and everything else to.
It's probably. I mean, it's probably expensive to have to accommodate like shortening and lowering everything in your house. Yay.
There's another family too. There's 7 of them.
That's a lot of little people in one house.
Well, it was the parents. Now the mom, everyone in her family was normal size. She was the only dwarf.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a genetic.
So then she met her husband. Everyone in his family was little. So they had children. Of course, theirs came out little. They adopted 2 little from Asia, little girl and a boy, and then their daughter was dating a boy who is normal size, and they just had a baby. The baby's going to be normal size, a little girl.
That's
And they were trying to make everything like thinking she was going to be a dwarf because the odds were that the whole family.
But wouldn't they know that in utero? Like
yes,
when they do ultrasounds? Okay.
And so they found out she was normal size, and they're like,
because they looked at the ultrasound, they could see the kids swimming in the uterus because it's so big. The
once
uterus.
She gets 3 months, she's gonna be too big for them to carry. You know?
Yeah, because the kid's gonna be so big that the little person's gonna keel over. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
Fall from the
so it's interesting to watch the dynamics. Between the 2, and what the other dynamic is that she and the boyfriend with the baby are now living with the parents so they can save for a home. And that's not going very well. Yeah. Because it goes back to they want to put rules. They want him to come straight home after work and not stop by his parents because his family doesn't live too far from them. And it's a big issue. Anytime you families live together like that, it's very difficult.
Yeah. Nightmare.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Have you seen those videos of like it's like a little it's like a little person like playing javelin and then it cuts to somebody like
oh yeah, and it's like this full size.
Yeah, it's a full size and they'll like catch them in a pot or something.
I've seen those. Those are hilarious.
So bad.
It's like they I've seen those. Those are funny.
Well, my family alone, I mean, I'm the tallest of most of the people in my family.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
my sister was like 4'11".
Yeah.
My mom and my other sister's like 5 feet.
Your brother's short.
He's 5'6".
And he's
I was
pretty much
almost 5'8". Now I've shrank about a half inch. I'm like 5'7".
Well, and you're like Caucasian white, and he's like, you know.
Well, yeah, he's dark.
He's dark.
I took after my dad. I took after my mom. Yeah. And my grandma. My grandma on my dad's side was like.
Right.
Well, Dr. was really tall. And
Yeah.
Dad's tall.
Well, I was taller than anybody.
But everyone else is short.
Yeah, when I met your dad, I didn't really believe he was Mexican because he's tall. Most of them are not.
What'd you think I was?
Like Italian, maybe?
Hey, that's a spot. It's a big
Like,
spot.
I get Italian a lot.
He looks too Mexican.
Or Greek.
Yeah.
But it was just nice to meet a Mexican guy that was tall because, you know, most of them like Matt were like, 5'6" and below.
I thought she was like a German slut.
Oh my God. How very rude. Oh my god.
No, I didn't even think
That's
about.
why I'm not blonde.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she's got redhead. She's a redhead.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
Sherman. Yeah, Oktoberfest. I look at her. Oktoberfest.
Anyway, back to this thread.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand if they're that upset.
Yeah.
Why are you on multimedia?
It's hard. It's like an addiction, though. It really is.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
Like, it is so mindless sometimes, like, just opening Instagram up and seeing what's on there, like, for 2 minutes, you know? I get it, but then you have to take, if it stresses you out that much, you have to put your mental health first and put those parameters in place. If you want to keep talking to those people that you're following, but you don't want to see what they're posting, I mean, you have to hide them from your feed.
It's what's the point?
Yeah,
Why be on it or have them on your feed?
exactly.
Or as a friend, because if you don't want to talk to them, I mean, that's the whole part of being on there, is to share.
Right. Well, yes, and also, like, for family who doesn't live near you. Like, I get that, too, because then that's kind of how you know what's going on with them, right? But at some point, if the cons are outweighing the benefits of following this person or family member or friend or whoever, then you have to put what's best for you first. And
really, you use it to follow family? I don't.
yeah, like my Aunt Jenny, like Daniel has cousins in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Oh, well,
like,
okay, but you don't really use it to follow people.
I mean,
it's
I don't like
what they're
purposely
doing.
look them up, but their feeds,
Yeah.
you know, the stuff.
Hey,
Something significant happens, it shows up.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did we
Well,
find that Amy passed away?
I don't.
It was through Facebook.
Right. But I mean, it's not like I was
It
looking.
was actually LinkedIn.
It's not like I was looking for it though. It was like,
Amy.
yeah, it was
She
LinkedIn.
a personality.
You may have met.
that he worked
Oh.
with. She was a psychic.
Yeah, she
Amy.
wasn't a psychic. She was an intuitive or something like that.
Amy Bianchi.
Yeah, she
Is
was.
she coffee?
No. You're thinking about the coffee
We're talking
psychic,
Jorianne.
Jorianne, blonde. This one was redhead.
Yeah, and she actually, her partner Dave, used to do some band thing over at the. It used to be the Viking, but now it's.
Oh,
Cooper's Corner?
Cooper's
Yes.
Corner, yeah.
Many years
Yeah,
ago.
many years ago, yeah.
So we just found out she had passed away. And
Yeah,
It was
I
like,
forgot what she
oh my
passed
God,
away
it's so
from.
sad,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it was sad. Yeah.
You know, but so I mean, it's nice that you can. Those are the events that you don't want to hear,
Yeah.
but you get used to see.
Well, it's like you're upset at Sonny, but I found out that Sonny's son had passed away. He was like 20-some years old, unexpectedly. So it was like a shock to know that this kid. And I met him once. We were at a meeting, and I think he was coming in from somewhere, whatever, at their house. We were doing a paranormal thing that we were going to do, and the kid died. The name was Jacob, and it was like, wow. I mean, he was in his 20s. He just got married.
Oh, that's sad.
And it's sad, yeah. So I mean, I don't know what he passed away. He said that he passed away in his residence. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but yeah, it's sad. It really
It's
is.
with any technology, there's going to be good and bad things. You have
Right.
to be able to know what's best for you and have it work to your advantage rather than
Even like with this show,
Causing
I
more
mean, you're gonna
stress.
put it out through social media, so
yeah.
you're gonna get critics.
Right.
Yeah,
You're gonna get
totally.
haters. You're gonna get fans.
Social media like Facebook, it's like anything else. It's basically an announcement type of social media, whatever. It's like you put it out there, whatever. It's like right now the big thing is obviously Trump and his stuff that he's doing. It's always out there because I belong to like some political groups and whatever. So I'm getting bombarded by all the stuff that he's doing and all these people talking about it. And then I get like feeds on entertainment stuff that's going on in entertainment and
And I think you have to be careful with those types of things too, because you have to have common sense going into anything that a media is going to present to you.
Right.
So anybody anywhere can post anything online or Facebook. It
Could be
doesn't
real.
mean that it's correct or
Right.
accurate information. You have to have common sense when you're
Right.
going through that shit too.
because now a lot of that is not real. A lot of it is real. A lot of it is who
Even when
knows.
you're shopping for something, there's a lot of scammers out there.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't buy anything off of Facebook or anything like that, but I do see it all the time. People
I have,
posting.
and I totally got gypped.
Really?
Yeah, I bought something off of Instagram, and it was this like play fort thing, where it's like a modular like cushions that you can like manipulate and make different like forts. You can make it a little couch, and they sell it at like Costco for like $150. Like, it's expensive.
You bought it for 20.
I bought it for $35.
Jeez.
Last year for Finn's birthday.
Never got it.
Was following it on tracking. It said that they shipped it to some address within the same town, but the other side of town. And so Daniel actually went to where they said they shipped it, and he didn't see it there. And it was like this weird Asian, like, tracking number. It was like,
And then you try to find a company and it disappeared.
Yeah, and then I looked it up on Better Business Bureau, and there was this is a scam, blah, blah, blah. So I just contacted my bank, and they refunded me, and they're like, yeah, we found this was a scam.
That happened once, 10 years ago, and I never got my money back.
What?
Yeah, it was for a mobile scooter.
Yeah.
It was $20.
Oh, God.
It was about 50, but
Right.
it was like
A mobile
wow,
scooter
what a
for $50.
deal, And of course I didn't get it. And I didn't get my money back either.
You didn't get like what
that
a
sucks.
Mattel scooter, like a little Mattel.
But then,
Wish.com.
but
Yeah.
then I have bought stuff on there. Like I have bought your Harry Potter makeup brushes.
Yeah.
And that came in.
But that was Temu, isn't it?
No, that was off of Facebook.
Really?
Oh,
That was
Facebook.
I never buy anything off
Yeah,
Facebook.
I think you have to be pretty careful.
Right.
You know.
I never, because then they get your information. Guess what? They sell it to somebody else or worse.
No, this one, and it came in. I got her a set and I got me a set. So.
I've never bought anything off Facebook. Like Marketplace?
I bought my pasteles over Facebook.
You sold some, didn't you?
Your cake?
Pasteles are Puerto Rican like tamales.
Tamales, yeah. Oh, that's right. I went with you to pick them up.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she bought them
The
off.
lady was selling them out of her house. So
Right.
I ordered some and we picked them up.
It was this little old lady that was selling the tamales.
Wait, you bought them off of Facebook?
Right.
I ordered
She ordered
them,
them.
and then we went to her house. She sent me her address, and I went picked them up and paid her.
Okay.
She
I
lived
had-
in- she lived
I
in
ate
Elm.
some and I had destructive diarrhea.
I was gonna say, were you guys okay?
No,
My
they-
colon has never been the same.
Hey, you can tell when a repeat.
That's a new one. I don't think I've ever heard of
And
people buying food
kept
off
her
of.
name, so if I ever want them, I can go back and get them again. But no, she did actually made them pretty good.
Okay. I've
10
sold stuff off like
10
Facebook Marketplace,
people
but not
died.
food.
No, I don't think I.
It's just like catering, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want-
No, catering, you go to a website that caters.
Right.
You don't.
Cater.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people like even make tamales. And
Yeah.
they sell them.
Doña
for the
Maria's.
holidays, you know, and this is what it is. It was for a holiday.
Buy tamales from Doña Maria. Gastric destruction.
You could do the same thing.
Yeah, probably, but I would do it. I'd create my own website.
Yeah, because what if
I create my own.
It's cheap
something
advertising.
happens?
Right, you kill somebody.
Somebody gets hurt. Yeah, sick.
It's cheap advertising.
What if like a midget slips on a tamale?
Oh my God.
Accidentally kill him.
Well, at least they won't get that hurt because they're closer to the ground. That's mean.
Right.
It can still break something.
Yeah, I
That's
don't.
mean.
Yeah, I've never. We've looked into like buying like maybe a lawnmower or a
Yeah.
tractor, but
I mean, there's still scams. I mean,
Yeah,
you
there's
gotta be
scams
very
out there,
careful,
yeah.
Not to send money blindly. eBay is another one. Don't use eBay to purchase. You gotta be very careful.
Oh, I sell stuff, but I don't.
I
purchase
bought a refrigerator drawer that was not the picture.
We got ripped
that I
off.
saw. We got ripped off.
Mm.
yeah,
And then I couldn't find a merchant, and then eBay wouldn't help me.
What?
$80
They said my time had hit a lapse.
$80?
for a drawer, a refrigerator drawer, right?
Yeah, well, they were going, it was like 72.
I don't know what
But
close.
still, I mean, because if it's very hard to find the model fridge. that you have.
eBay is one of those.
You gotta be very careful.
Yeah, be very careful.
I've had more luck selling on Mercari than eBay.
I don't know what that is. What's
It's
my card?
another one of those, like,
This is
Buy
another
and sell.
example of Gen Z versus,
millennial and boomer.
yes, because
Right.
you
Boomers,
know,
I think, are less likely to do stuff like that.
Well,
Whereas Gen Z or millennials,
No, but I mean, we don't know
To
as
know what it
many,
is.
right?
websites or like
Apps.
exactly exist out there and
Mhm.
utilize, because she has also introduced you some other products that you weren't aware of, like to keep notes and things
Mhm.
like that. So
Well, like my parents, no clue. They would have
Mhm.
never known anything about stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, they were they had cash. They go to the store. They buy what they needed. They never even used credit cards. My mom never used credit cards. Never. We were the
there's
first
still
ones.
people that won't.
We were the first to use credit cards, and we got ourselves in trouble. And before you know it, you had too much credit. And,
They're taking a collection at work for 2 different baby showers.
Mhm.
And so I asked her, is there a way I could digitally send you money?
Yeah.
I don't do that. Why not? I don't do that. You have to bring me cash. Well, I don't have time to go stuff at the ATM.
Yeah. Who has cash anymore?
Right.
I haven't had cash on me in
So
like
of course I
5
didn't
months.
contribute. I'm like, I'll get something on my own.
I have
Yeah.
I have a wallet that I carry around. It's
Rude.
it's got stripper money. That's it. You know what I mean? Dollar bills. I don't really have any huge dollar because you don't carry around huge.
No.
My parents used to have my dad used to have a wad of like 50s, 20s, whatever. I've never done that. I just use my ATM card.
No. I'm
for
not
everything.
afraid to.
Right.
Like, what if you get ripped off? Someone steals your purse or wallet? And
Well,
then
they could
all
still
your
take your
money.
ATM and use it.
But they need to know the they need to know the pin. At least that there's a trail,
They could
electronic trail.
They could use it as a Visa or credit card.
Right, but there is a trail because you
Right.
can see what they're, the bank can see what they're charging on your account.
Right.
Whereas with cash,
But by the time they catch
that's
them,
gone.
they're back to Taiwan or wherever they're from. You know what I mean? Right?
Well, I don't know. I have Chase, and Chase is really good about that.
Yeah,
so
I've
they'll
got
refund
Chase
you
too.
for
Yeah,
anything.
I got Chase too. So they were
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's even credit One or Capital One, which I have. So I mean, that's still I still use that.
We went and got our taxes done. We have an accountant that we go to, and I always bring my checkbook because that's how I used to pay for our accountant fee.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, you don't need to write a check. I'm like, oh, do you take card? Like, she's like, yeah, we take card, we take Zelle, like whatever you do. I'm like, oh. So yeah, and then I looked at the first check on my checkbook, and it was my last accountant that I wrote the check for. So.
Here's something weird. Like we have a landscaper that comes and does our grass. Not this year, but the last couple of years. So they will not take cash. They won't take. The only thing they take is checks. That's it. And Zelle, they don't take. They don't take credit cards. They just take checks. Weird. So then I have to go to Chase and write a check on Chase because we don't have checks.
You don't have a checkbook?
No, I don't have a check. The only checkbook I have was for my business.
Yeah.
That I had then. That's it. But other than that, never had a checkbook.
I know.
I haven't had one in probably 15 years.
I doubt my brother has a checkbook.
He probably doesn't even know what it is.
I don't even know if he's ever written a check. I mean, I don't know
Right.
if do they teach that in schools anymore? Like,
No.
I have no clue.
I don't think they teach economics. Isn't that what it's called now? Or is it economics?
No, it would be, I don't know. I don't know what it would be. Like home ec?
Yeah, home ec.
Home ec?
We used to have health. In school, we used to have a course called health. Did you guys have it?
In high school.
Yeah.
Well,
and
and
we talk
in
about
grade school.
like sex and
Yeah,
stuff
that was
like
fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Yeah. Oh yeah, my sisters were. My parents were upset about that. Remember? They were upset about you taking the health, and they were talking about sex and.
Well, yeah, you have to know what the
I mean, I learned the
biologicals
hard
are.
way. I learned the hard way. I got somebody impregnated.
Oh my God. Calgon, take
Mom,
it away.
I learned life's lessons
Oh my
by
God.
living it. But yeah, anyway. So.
But yeah, I go to the farmer's market, like in my town. Nobody accepts cash. It's all Zelle.
Zelle
Or they'll take
credit
card,
Yeah.
but they don't accept check or cash. They don't want to deal with that.
No,
And
it's
even
in
during
case someone
COVID.
coming up and robbing you.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. Yeah, I didn't even think about that part.
They can take my fruit.
But yeah, they have like at the farmer's market, they have like a QR code that you can literally just scan and
Right.
you can Venmo or whatever them. It's really, really simple.
I gotta tell you, from like when I was a kid to today's society changed. But you know what hasn't changed? Weird people out there.
Yes.
There's still way too many weird people out there.
I agree.
I mean, we got a president who's just out of his mind, lunatic. So, I mean, it's, you know, but it's just people, technology may change, but people won't. People won't. They're still, you're far right, you're far left, you're, you know. So.
And on that note,
Thank
you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Again, we have a new thing that we're doing. It's a charity thing. We would like to plug you. So if you have any T-shirts, hats, or whatever that you want to send us, you can reach us at genizus.com. We're here. You can look for us for our podcast and our vodcast on Genizus or on any platform that
Social medias.
Yeah, social medias. Yeah. So join us next time. Hopefully we'll have Joey with us.
Yeah, hopefully. Otherwise, I'd still say let's bring in all the parents and have them talk about divorce.
The Genizus Us divorce segment. That would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do that in the near future.
Yes. And if you have any family drama or any questions that you want our generational take on, feel free to email them or send them via social media or whatever.
Yeah, drop it on our website. We have a section there where you can just send us questions or things that you want us to talk about.
Anything your heart desires.
Right.
Thank you for listening.
Till next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Jen Is Us podcast. Make sure to subscribe everywhere podcasts are available and follow us on our Instagram and YouTube at Jen Is Us Podcast. We want to hear from you, the listeners. Send us any feedback or questions that you would like 3 generations to answer at contact@genizus.com. Thank you.
Life is full of a bunch of questions.